guys, is would we all agree that right now is a little tougher than it was 2 months ago?
Yes.
Things took a little turn for us very quickly that we didn't see coming, right? And it never fails. When things get harder than what you expect or what you're prepared for, you run into a point where you gotta make a decision. You either check out or you fucking pull up your boots and say, I gotta hit this thing head on. It's time to attack this thing head on. You got a decision to make. It's an internal decision in your head, right or not? And it always happens when things are harder than what you expected. And it's like, motherfucker, I didn't realize it was gonna be this hard. I'm gonna check out, or I'm gonna get to work, right? So if you know what you're getting into and you prepare yourself mentally for it, you can turn it around, right? And you can hit this thing head on and we can get through this challenge, okay? So I'm gonna tell you a little story about myself. And the reason I tell you these stories, guys, is so A, you have a better understanding of who I am and the struggles I went through, because I'm sure you guys have your perception of where I'm at or whatever the case is, right? But I have about 4 stories in this 20-year career, okay? And this one I'm gonna call the comeback. You guys have heard the story about when I started the 7 days a week and all those good things, right? If you heard toward the end of that story, I told you I ended up lost it all, right? Well, I've lost everything twice, okay? That was the first time. And how that worked is when I left Lithia and I bought into that car lot, okay, that was in 2006. I bought right when everything was at the peak and everything was going good. In 2007, it started coming down and it was just coming down fast. Toward the end of 2007, it dipped real hard. You think today's tough. Who was selling cars in 2008? Do you remember those times? Corey, remember that shit? Is today like 2008?
Not at all.
It's not even fucking close, guys. It's not even close. I mean, every third home had a fucking foreclosure on it, right? It was a different time right there. And so everything took a dip. And when you hear somebody that's a business owner and they talk about I lost everything, I can completely relate to that, because what happens is your business is like your kid, right? And I had all my eggs were in that basket. So before you let your business go, you pull every resource available to try and keep that thing alive. Because in your head, you're thinking about, just keep this motherfucker alive and get through this, then I'll go back and I'll start paying those things back and I'll get those things back. But I gotta keep this alive. So in the process of losing the business, I lost everything else with it. And that's just how it goes. That's the last thing to go. So at the time I had my home, which was a very nice home. I had 5 rentals. I couldn't pay on those things. All my cars went back. I had a lot of cars I could do now. They all went back, right? Renters would come and they'd bring me my rent and they'd have a foreclosure letter and like, what is this letter? And I'd go, let me see that. And I'm like, oh, that's just the bank offering to refinance me. I go, that's nothing. Give me that. You got the rent, right? I'm like, give me that rent, motherfucker. Right? I'm like, I need that shit, right? I say that joking because they all ended up being all right. They all got to live in the houses for over a year for free. My brother was one of my renters. He lived there for 2 fucking years for free. And then the bank paid him $3,500 to move out. And I'm like, I'm the stupid ass, because on the second payment I couldn't pay, in my mind I thought the sheriffs were gonna come put locks on the door. So I was so paranoid they were gonna lock me out of my house. So I up and moved. And it wasn't even late yet. It wasn't even the 5th. I wasn't even technically late yet, but I was so scared in my mind they're gonna come put locks on it. I moved out, and my brother lived in one of my houses for 2 years for free. And I'm like, motherfucker, man. So I moved to a rental that I couldn't afford to pay the rental, right? In the process of losing the car lot, I had already sold off all of my stuff. All my stuff was gone. You know what I mean? The only thing I had left was my work truck, which was very embarrassing to drive. It was the only transportation I had left, right? So now it's 2008. It's just going into the beginning of 2008. Economy's at its probably about the lowest point right now. Ford's at what was Ford at the time? $1?
Buck something.
$1, something like that. Lithia stock that's now I think like $3.70 at the time was like less than $2. There was rumors that they were gonna bankrupt. Everybody pulled their money out of the 401k when it was like $5 grand. They pulled their last little $5 grand out. They used to be 100,000. I mean, it was a tough time, right? But I knew there was one guy I could depend on. I'm like, I could depend on myself. I can get on that fucking floor and go sell cars. That's the one thing I know I can do. If I just go sell cars, I can work off somebody else's dime. I can show up with a pin, and I can make a commission on somebody else. They put up the money, they put up the advertising, and I can go in there and make a commission just with my pin. And I know I'm not afraid to work. So I gotta go hit the fucking line. That's what I gotta do, I gotta hit the line. So I went back to Lithia, where I'd spent 5 years before I bought into the car lot. Jeff, those who know Jeff at Toyota, was the GSM at that time. And Jeff hates this story, right? If you ask me, you probably won't even make it. Jeff was the GSM, Ash was the general manager, I didn't know at the time. And I went to Jeff and I said, hey, I need to go back to work, man. And he's like, he goes, Curtis, I don't really have a sales manager position right now. I go, no, I don't want a sales manager position, I just want to sell cars. He's like, sell cars? There's no money in selling cars right now. He goes, all my guys are on minimum wage. He goes, my sales managers are making $5 grand, Curtis. I go, no, I need to sell cars. And he goes, well, how much money do you think you're gonna make selling cars? And I go, I'll make 10,000. And he goes, Curtis, I don't want you coming here working a month and then you're gonna leave because you think you're making 10 grand. And he goes, my top sales guy's making 5, my sales manager's making 5, man. Those times are behind us. And I'm like, Jeff, I go, I'll make 10 grand, just putting it on the floor. And he goes, don't leave, man. I'll put you on the floor, but he's like, you need to give me 3 months. Don't fucking leave on me and make me look stupid, I go, just put me on the floor, I'll be fine, right? So they had developed a mindset that this is the way it is, and we just got to get through it. That was the way they were thinking, and the whole place was defeated. The top guy who used to sell 25 cars, Frank Valdez, was selling 10, right? And that was acceptable. They were congratulating him like shit, like high-fiving over 10 cars. You know, this guy used to sell 25 cars, now he's selling 10, and they act like it's a great job. And they had just accepted that this was just the way it had to be. And me even going there talking about 10 grand, they couldn't fathom that. They're like, no, Curtis, that doesn't happen no more, okay? Here's what you don't know, because I didn't bother to tell him at that time. I owe $1.7 million to the flooring company. I just fucking bellied up on them, right? IRS, I owed them 170 racks. I'm like, dude, I got fucking bills, and I'm in a fucking rental. I gave my house up. I'm in a rental right now that I can't even pay the rent. They're gonna evict me out of this motherfucker, right? I'm like, we're in a different place, okay? You guys have all might have gotten comfortable with the situation you're in, and I'm like, I'm not comfortable. I'm not coming here to work for $5 grand. This is not the way it's gonna work, right? I didn't bother explaining all this to him. I just said, let me out there. Well, let's see what happens, right? I went back on the line after not being on the line for almost 5 years. And the very first month, I pumped out 26 cars, $16,000, right? Took 1 day off that month, right? Second month, 24 cars, and 14 grand. Third month, 29 and a half cars, and almost 20 grand, right? In 4 months, I did exactly 100 cars, in 4 months. It changed everyone's thinking. All of a sudden, nobody's selling cars in 2008. And all of a sudden, lithium Nissan was on fucking fire, right? All of a sudden, were you around that time, Pradeep? Where were you working at that time?
I was here.
You were here this store? All of a sudden, they're on fire. 250 fucking cars. Everybody's selling cars. People are coming in. Alex from Keller comes over, joins the team. High performers are joining the team. Roberto joins the team. Jimmy was there at the time. All of a sudden, everybody's selling cars. And people are talking about it, like, I don't know what the fuck is going on over there at Lithium Nissan, but those guys are selling cars. We were doing 300 cars in 2009 when nobody else was doing this yet, right? What was the difference? Right here, guys, right here. It's the fucking mindset, okay? Somebody forgot to tell Corey that it's a tough month, right? Somebody didn't let Oscar know that hat tricks are not a part of reality right now, right? We forgot to let these guys know. It's here, guys. That's the point of the story, okay? It doesn't matter what's going on around you. You dictate what's going on in this business. If you want it bad enough, it's available. Are you gonna have to work harder today than you did 6 months ago? You are. You're gonna have to work 3 to 4 times as hard. You're gonna have to make 3 to 4 times as calls, and you're gonna have to talk to 3 to 4 times as many people. What if 3 to 4 times as many people don't come on the line? Then you fucking figure it out. I go talk to people on Service Drive. I become best friends with Patty, who's calling people all day long, and she can't get sales guys to go greet the customers. How'd that work out for you, Corey?
It's cool.
It's cool. Did you make a commission yesterday?
Yeah.
Was it a good one?
Yeah.
Was it a hard deal?
Not really.
Customer and service and sales.
Yeah.
Patty set up the appointment. Can't get nobody to take it. Corey goes talk and pops the deal. How many cars did you sell off service sales with Patty?
18, 19 a month.
18, 19 a month. Was that always available to whoever wanted it?
Yeah. Nobody ever wanted to give it to me.
Nobody wanted to talk to them because service sales are hard. They're harder. They're not fucking harder. That's here. That's here. Right? Internet. Our internet guys don't get to take fresh ups. They gotta make a living off the phone. But they sell the most cars. Nobody wants to work the phone. Once you get past the fear of doing what you think is hard, all of a sudden it becomes easier, right? If you want it bad enough, you're gonna find it. I tell my managers all the time, make sure you're looking for the right things because you're always gonna find what you're looking for, right? But if you come here with the mindset of, I don't care what's going on around me. I don't care what the economy's got going on. When I went back to Lithia, I didn't care about any of those things. The only thing I cared about was I had to pay the fucking rent because I don't want to move my family out of a rental because I just moved them out of our nice house, right? I don't want to keep driving my catering truck to work because it's embarrassing. I want to get a fucking car, right? And I had to work out a deal with the IRS because I couldn't even open a bank account. So I had to go cash my check at Liquor King. They charged me like $300 to cash my check. I couldn't open a bank account because they would take my money, right? I finally worked out a deal with them. I had to drop them 10 grand down. Took me a couple months to save it up. And I had to pay them $3 grand a month. They tack on interest and fees on top of fees. This was in 2009, I worked out a deal with them. Do you know when I finally paid them off? 3 years ago, in 2020, when I was working here. It took me 11 years to pay those motherfuckers off, right? When I went back there to Lithia, I didn't have the same mindset as everybody else. It was grind season. I didn't care what was going on. I had to fucking make things happen. I had people that counted on me to make things happen who don't know anything about the economy. Your guys' family know anything about economy? Or what's going on? Or do they know we either can pay the bills or we can't? Right? Whose fucking responsibility is it to make these people feel comfortable? To make these people feel secure? Right? That's our responsibility. Do they care what's going on? They know two things. They know you're away all the time, and they know they count on you to pay the fucking bills, right? We gotta make it happen, guys. It doesn't matter what's going on around us, okay? It doesn't matter what's going on around us. This is a group of bad motherfuckers, and we got a job to do. We gotta make this happen. The company depends on us. Your family depends on us. I depend on you. You depend on me. We're in this grind together. I'm not gonna walk behind you. I'm gonna walk right beside you, and we're gonna get this fucking job done. All right, you guys ready to rock and roll this weekend?
Yes.
Don't take no for an answer. They come on your lot and they want to look, you just tell them, that's not your fucking choice, motherfucker. You shouldn't have came here if you just wanted to look. That's what the internet's for. You come here, you gotta buy a car now. That's how it works, right? Let's rock and roll, guys. Let's make this thing happen. Let's get to work.